Hey guys, how's it going? Andrew here, Nuff Said Cards on Wednesday evening, August 8th, and this is going to be part two of my 2018 national recap. I made a video the other night which was just kind of a summary of the show and my thoughts on the show, and tonight I'm going to show you what I picked up. And the first item you are looking at right now, this is a wooden lacrosse stick. And there were a couple dealers that were set up at the show that specialized in vintage sporting goods. And my daughter plays lacrosse and had mentioned a couple times that she thought it would be cool to have an old wooden stick that she could hang up in her room. And I paid 75 bucks for this stick. I don't really know if that's a good deal or not. The guy had it marked 100. I paid 75. I did like a quick eBay search and it seemed like it was in the ballpark, so I went for it. It's in pretty nice shape. And the guy said that he thought it was from the 40s. I don't know if that's correct. It looks like it could be. So if anyone knows anything about these, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. So that's the first item. Next, quickly, I'm just going to show you three cards that I had reslabbed. I've shown all these cards before. N28 King Kelly, T227 Ty Cobb, and N162 King Kelly. I had these three cards. They were all kind of in older slabs that had some scratching on them, and I just think these are pretty big parts of my collection, and just one of them in the newer holders. It cost me 10 bucks each to get them reslabbed. And I dropped them off on Wednesday at PSA and I got them back on Saturday. So next I'm going to show you three items that I had graded at the show. Here's the first one. It's a sepia postcard Tris speaker, which I've shown before. And this came back at 2.5, which actually surprised me. I think a 2 is what I was expecting, so definitely happy with a 2.5. And this is the new SGC holder. A lot of people have been saying that they don't really like it. The number is too big. I kind of agree with that. Overall, I actually like it. I prefer the new style label with the black background instead of the green. Kind of just thought that the green distracted a little bit, and although I guess the giant number kind of distracts a little bit too, but I guess we'll just get used to it. And they also were using it looks like a slightly new, different material for the gasket, which is the black material that surrounds the card. On these bigger cards, there's it's not as noticeable. On the regular size cards, there's more of that material, but looks like it has a little bit more texture than the older ones, and I think it looks a little bit nicer. So was happy with that, 2.5. Got the Cy Young graded also, came back a 1.5, which is what I was expecting. Has writing on the back, so I think automatic 1.5 at best. And I had this postcard, I had the autograph authenticated by PSA. This is Joe Lannon, who was the owner of the Red Sox in 1914, and PSA certified that it is an authentic autograph. So I was happy with that. Next I'm going to show you the new items that I picked up at the show. If I can get that glare out of there. Start with this. Is a Nate Archibald autograph card. This was one of the baseball card exchange specials of the day, and I just happened to be standing nearby when people were lining up to get it, and this was $2. So Hall of Famer autograph for $2. Can't really go wrong with that. Next up, this is a 1960 Red Sox team card. It's actually in pretty nice shape. I have a bunch of these Red Sox team cards from the 50s and 60s. I need to actually figure out which ones I'm missing, and so I can grab those. But I like the look of this one. I paid 12 bucks for it. well centered, no creases. The color's pretty good. So I was happy with that one. Picked up this 1964 Topps Carl Yastrzemski card, and this is a PSA 6. This card is in really nice shape. Just slightly off center, left to right, and that top left corner has a little ding in it, but not too bad. Got a good deal on this card also. So I was happy to get that one. And next I'm going to show you some of the bigger items I picked up. We'll start with this one here. For those of you that have watched my videos before, you know that I love these 1913 Fatima Cigarettes team cards. And this one was on my list. I wanted to get this one for a while. Actually, it seems to be going up in price due to the fact that it has Shoeless Joe Jackson on it. And his cards that feature him, solo, are very expensive. And I don't have another Joe Jackson card in my collection. I would like to get one eventually, but I really think these Fatima cards are cool. This one also has Napoleon Lajoie on the bottom there. And this one's graded at SGC 3. The centering is really nice. The image is really bold, good contrast, and also has a dog in the front there, which is kind of neat. There's going to be hard to see, but there's kind of like it's not even like a crease, like a little bend almost kind of in the card, but these are on basically like photo paper. They're not even on cardboard, and finding them in decent condition is very tough. This one presents pretty well for a 3, so was happy to find that one. And next up, for those of you that watched Mike Baseball Collector's video from, I think it was day 1 or day 2, I showed this card, and this is a 1914 Cracker Jack Tris Speaker card. And I saw this when I got to the show on Wednesday. I did not buy anything on Wednesday, but I just couldn't get this card out of my mind. It was a little bit overpriced, but and it's rated a PSA 2. But the centering and color and registration and focus are just really good. There's a little white kind of discoloration. It's not even really a crease, but on the top there, I think you can see it, and a little crease in the top right corner. And then typical of 1914 Cracker Jacks, there's staining also. PSA has gotten a little harsher with how they view the staining on the cards. Just for comparison, this is a Harry Hooper from the same set that's graded a 4. To me, this one doesn't even look as good. So I was really happy with this Tris speaker. And the 14s are very tough because they're also on really thin stock. They're almost like thick paper and not even really cardboard. So I bought this from a dealer along with a Cy Young T206 card. But I can't show you that card because I don't have it anymore. And I did something that is a little unusual for me, but it worked out pretty well, I think. I was real happy with the T206 portrait of Cy Young, but I was showing it to a dealer the next day, and he made an offer on the card, and I had seen something else that I really liked, and just kind of worked out that I decided to sell the card after owning it for 1 day, which is, I don't usually sell any cards, so that was unusual. But the item that I bought was this 1921 Exhibits Babe Ruth card, which I'm just thrilled with. And my rationale for making this exchange was that I can get another Cy Young portrait card A little harder to find these. I'm not sure the pop report. There's maybe about 150 of these graded, and I got a good deal on this, and just really, really like this card. Um, it was not an even trade for the Cy Young. Selling that and buying this. This cost more, but I really like this pose. It's an early Cy Young card. Oh, sorry, Babe Ruth card. Um, just some kind of cool things on it. You can see his belt buckle kind of turned on the side there, which is kind of cool. It looks like there's like a rip in his pants that had been repaired, and the old style glove, and you can see, his cleats, cut off sleeves. Looks like they were, cut off with scissors or something. Um, can't even imagine what this jersey would be worth if it still existed, but kind of unusual pose for Babe Ruth. You don't see this pose on any other cards where he's fielding. And you can see young Babe Ruth there. So I really like these exhibit cards, especially the early ones. The 1921 set is just awesome and underrated, I think. And this one's in pretty good shape. There's a little scuff right there, and the black marks are typical for the 21 exhibits. That's pretty much on all of them. This one's graded a 2.5. Relatively sharp corners, and just kind of overall good eye appeal. So I was thrilled to get this. Unfortunately, it meant selling the Cy Young, but I can get another one of those, and that's back on my list of cards to pick up. So that's it. Just put Babe there in the middle. Those are my pickups from the National, and hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think, and I will catch up with you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.